We need to talk about what makes a good man. Ladies, our standards are in the gutter. Our standards are rock bottom. The bar is in hell when it comes to what we consider to be a good man. And we need to get really real about that. Mainly so we can stop putting ourselves in jeopardy dealing with these. We should be keeping away with a 10-foot pole. We've been brainwashed since we were little girls to have the lowest expectation for boys, and our boys will be boys. Well, girls mature faster than boys. He hates you because he likes you. We've been trained since we were tiny little girls to have the lowest expectations for male behavior and to accept the worst. Before we get into the traits of an actual real good man, let's talk about fake good men. These are the men who benefit from the bar being in hell. They're the C students of the class who just skate on by with a passing grade. They never work hard enough to get A's and B's, even though they're probably capable. And they just work hard enough not to fail. These are the good guys who are good guys because they don't hit me. They're not abusive. They're not emotionally, mentally, or verbally abusive. He doesn't cheat on me. He goes to work every day and brings in a steady check and pays and contributes to the household fairly. He babysits his kids sometimes. He helps me around the house, meaning he's doing maybe 25% of the household labor. And that's huge. We're like, whoa, 10 out of 10. And there's the low end of this, which is he doesn't hit me. For some women, that's enough to consider a man a good man. He doesn't put his hands on me. That's the bare minimum. Or he doesn't cheat on me. Just because he doesn't cheat on me, I consider him to be a good man. It doesn't even have to be all of those things combined. For some people on the low end, it could just be one or two of those things. Whereas on the high end, the progressive boyfriends, the feminist boyfriends, it could look something like, he contributes 50-50. But I'm the one that has to lay everything out that he has to do. He'll do it. He'll do it if I ask, but again, I still have to ask, which again is mental labor. A lot of mediocre dudes have slipped through the cracks simply because they're better than most of the other dudes out there, and the bar is in hell. But here's what an actual good man should look like. He should be a good partner, an equal partner. And most importantly, it's not just him doing the actions, it's him taking the initiative without needing to be asked. And not just without needing to be asked, but without needing to have been taught to not have to ask. I had a man that I worked with back in the day, and he had a wife who was much older than she was. She was like, I think, a decade older than him. He told me that for the first decade of their relationship, she had to raise him. He realized as he matured and became older that his wife had to raise him. And there are so many women that don't have that huge age gap who are raising their men up. If you did not have to raise him to get to that point, then he can be considered a good man. He has to also add value to your life, girl. Discuss all of the benefits that women bring into men's lives. You can go back, look at my 50-50 dating, don't do it video, parts 1 and 2. I've described not even all, just some, because the list goes on, but some of the ways that women benefit men just by being in association with us. If you're the only one who's providing benefits, or if you're providing an outsized amount of benefits compared to what he's providing to you, then that ain't a good man. He needs to be adding to your life. He needs to be making your life better. At the very least, it should be a net zero loss for you, which is damn near impossible. When being involved with men, women's life expectancy goes down, women's financial prospects go down, women's health goes down. So he has to be making up for all of that, compensating for all of that. And if he's not doing that, meaning he's not making your life better, you should feel like he is demonstrably making your life better. And not just only in some ways while simultaneously super detracting from you in other ways. That's the thing. We try to, listen, I'm one of the queens of trying to focus on the positive and not focus on the negative. And yes, that is one way to approach life, but don't get caught up in a situation where you're so focused just on the positive that you're completely ignoring the negative, which is taking a toll on you mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even physically. That's why 80% of autoimmune disease is women. This might just be a little bonus, but he needs to be good in bed. He needs to be pleasing you in the pleasure department. For some folks, that may not be important, but for most folks in relationships, that is important. And unfortunately, for most women, we're sitting here faking O's so as not to hurt these motherfuckers' feelings who don't even give a damn about whether or not you got an O or not, just so that this motherfucker can get his O. Like I said, he needs to be adding to your life. He needs to be adding to your life overall. And that includes in the bed. To sum it up, you want a man who is an equal partner. And a great way to tell if a man is an equal partner, because it can't always be 50-50, right? Sometimes 50-50 means you're doing 80, he's doing 20. Sometimes it's him doing 100 and you doing 0, right? That's what 50-50 means, right? So a great way to tell if a man is actually going 50-50 is in the moments when you, as a woman in that relationship, can't do your 50% or when you need him to pull more than 50%. Does he pull it? Do you make sure never to get sick? Because when you do get sick, he just fails at taking care of you and taking care of the house and doing what needs to be done. That's a great way to tell. Or on the flip side, are you having to pull more than 50%, way more than he is? That's another sign that it's not 50-50. A good man is an equal partner, a fair and balanced equal partner, including making up for the ways he can't be a fair and equal partner. For example, if you want to have children. He needs to be an equal partner that you didn't have to put in the mental, emotional, physical labor to get him to be. You didn't have to train him to be that way. And he adds to your life. He benefits you. He adds to your life overall, not just in some areas, but overall. This man is making your life better. He is improving. He is augmenting your life, not detracting from it, not adding stress into your life. We need to be honest with ourselves about what constitutes an actual good guy, ladies, so we can start bringing the bar out of hell.